Da, 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 dum. Yeah. Okay. So
All right.
now,
Thank
all
you, John
parts.
Williams.
All parts aside, that theme is friggin' awesome.
It's pretty good.
It's an epic theme.
It's a shame that it's wasted on Superman.
Yeah. Well, okay. People who out there think we hate Superman, that we are just haters, and it's just like you don't understand Superman. It's just like no, we understand Superman.
Yeah, I
and
actively
that's
pull
the
for Lex
problem.
Luthor because I understand
That is
Superman.
the problem.
There are some Superman stories I enjoy. I just don't like Superman and stories.
Okay,
because when like standalone stories are like honestly like there's some DC animated movies that are really good.
Yeah,
but
fair.
the thing
fair.
is, it's like when you pair Superman with other in-universe characters, it always seems like the story is imbalanced.
Yeah, it's always Superman just goes shows his OP
Right.
abilities
Yeah.
and just destroys everybody, and it's never the other way around. It's never save for the one time in the Batman Superman animated series crossovers where and even then it was kryptonite. It was just like okay, that's it's infuriating to me because Superman, they have put no limit on him, and a hero with no limits is not interesting anymore. As I've stated, the world is skeptical as it is. We realize now more than ever that there's no such thing as a perfect anything. There's no such thing as a perfect anything. There are always flaws, but for someone like Superman, who's like this ultimate paragon that we're supposed to, all be like, I'm just like, if I were like him, I would never get laid, ever. I mean, that's just. Anyway, sorry, I was just trying to.
Anyway,
Superman is the ultimate paragon, and I'm like, where's the interest that we're supposed to have in this character and in this story?
I mean, conflict brings interest. Conflict
It does.
brings growth, and
Unless you get to like Apocalypse and the New Gods, there's really nothing else out there.
I mean Doomsday and Darkseid and the New Gods. Apocalypse is
No, Apocalypse is the planet. I
That's
know.
fair. Okay.
Apocalypse is. The
I
planet.
wasn't sure. I was like,
No, I'm aware.
Yeah,
Darkseid,
okay. Just making-
Darkseid,
just
Doomsday.
making sure.
Yeah.
okay, man.
Granny
the
Goodnight and Big
comments,
Bird.
Comments are gonna hate me.
No, come on.
Anyway,
All right, so Doug Walker, the man, the myth, the legend, the internet hero that he is, a while ago compiled his top 11 dumbest Superman moments.
I'm amazed that he could limit it to 11.
Yeah, 'cause there's some pretty dumb moments in the
Oh,
Superman movies,
boy.
both old and new. So we're going to have to give these a watch
All
and
right.
see what happens. All right, so
Let's
you
do
ready?
it.
Let's do it.
Hello, I'm the Nostalgia Critic. I remembered, so you don't have to. What can you say about the action-packed, family-friendly Superman movies? I love them. Well, most of them. Well, some of them. 2 of them. But either way, they're part of the all-American icon that is Superman. Now, for as good as these movies get, and as bad as these movies get, they all have their fill of stupid, stupid moments. Now, I know they're supposed to be lighter and more friendly, but most of the time they just come off as logically idiotic. That's why I've compiled a list of the top 11 dumbest moments in the Superman films. Why top 11? Because I like to go one step beyond. So, sit back and enjoy the top 11 stupidest Superman moments.
All right, so
Okay. Doug, that's pretty good.
That's gonna haunt my dreams.
Number 1. The casting of Superman Returns. Now, I don't mean cast members like Kevin Spacey and Frank Langella. They did okay. What I'm mainly referring to is Brandon Roth as Superman and Kate Bosworth as Lois Lane. I mean, they weren't god-awful or anything, but they look 16. It's like if Superman met Dawson's Creek. Oh, wait, they already did that, but you get my point. They're simply too young to be in these roles. When I saw the first Superman movie, I didn't see actors. I saw friggin' Superman and Lois Lane. When I saw this new movie, I saw kids dressing up for Halloween. Where'd the real actors go?
Sounds cheesy, I know.
On top of that, they were pretty bland. I mean, both of them are supposed to be strong-willed, clever, and spunky characters. But here, it was like watching first graders holding hands at a school play. You didn't really buy it.
It's a little
Alien.
I thought Kevin
I guess the
Spacey was
reasoning behind
fantastic.
this
Yeah, I
Kevin
thought
Spacey
he was
was
really
the
good.
only good part of that
Brandon
movie.
Roth did look an awful lot like Christopher Reeve. Well, if that's the reasoning, why didn't you hire this kid then? I don't know. Like I said, these two aren't horrible. They're just miscast. And when your protagonists look like people you'd ask to the prom rather than all-American heroes, something is definitely wrong.
Yeah.
Personally, I think that's a load of crap.
All right.
All
Number
right.
10.
Good start off. Good starting point.
The dumbass kid at Niagara
Yes!
Falls from Superman 2.
Thank you.
God!
Remember this little moron? I mean, I know you gotta put people in perilous situations, but how dumb is this kid? And where the hell is his mother?
Right over there.
My friend, here's your Darwin
Just
Award.
don't fall off into the
She was actually
waterfall.
busy
Okay, honey,
letting
I'll
her
fuck
other
your
kid
brother's
fall
that
into
way.
a gorilla
I
enclosure.
know kids do stupid things, but this is pretty hard to swallow.
Well, Superman would've resolved
does the idiot
that
have a
much-
death
much
wish?
better.
My guess is he's probably friends with that girl who plays hopscotch off a cliff on
Oh.
that Korn album.
That's a good one.
That came totally out of nowhere. Remember me as a foolish clod.
You
Of course, though,
are.
Superman comes in to rescue the boy and save the day.
Take that, Darwin! Natural selection doesn't win today!
There you go.
Again!
No, I'm sorry. Only one ride to a customer.
And if you try to commit suicide again, I'll kill you.
Thank you, Doug.
That's pretty
Damn.
bad.
The romantic flying scene recap from Superman 4. Now, we all remember the flying scene from the first Superman. It was charming, romantic, and all that other mushy stuff. But when you try to recreate it scene by scene, that's just embarrassing. Okay, so it starts off with Superman wanting to talk to Lois about something important. Rather than just flying to her apartment like before, he decides he wants to fuck around with her a bit.
Clark, things aren't that bad! Clark, stop!
Things aren't that bad.
It's not your fault.
Hey.
Hello.
Still.
I thought the threat of imminent death would be good for a laugh. Seriously, though, I am a human god. So they decided to go flying around for some reason, as Lois has no questions about her co-worker of 20 years being the man of friggin' steel. She just kind of accepts it like she found an extra 20 in her pocket. Now this scene, in all
Kind of.
honesty, wouldn't be quite so bad if they didn't rip off every single moment from the first one. Gee, is he gonna fly through the city side by side with her like the first one?
Yep.
You
Yep.
bet. Is he gonna support her with just his fingertips, which the laws of weight and mass totally says is impossible?
His
You
strength is
know.
psionic. It's pretty
Is he
well
going to let her
established.
fall just so he can swoop down and save her? Well, it wouldn't be a complete ripoff if he didn't, would it? Outside of just using the direct clips, there's absolutely no difference between this scene and the one from the first film. What was the point of it? Who knows? Maybe it was just to take the number 9 spot on this moronic countdown.
That's not fair.
Well.
Number 8.
It's bad.
The woman and the baby carriage from Superman 2.
Yes.
I'm sensing
Move!
a pattern here that all
all you had
mothers
to
in
do.
Superman movies are complete morons. Lois
Ugh.
included in the latest film too. How much more obvious can you freaking get? But this one takes the cake, as a large tower is about to fall on a woman and her baby. So what does she do? Absolutely nothing. No, worse than nothing. She covers the child with her body. Yeah, that'll save you, you brainless bimbo! They're called legs! You move them back and forth to create a running motion. Look at this. At the rate the tower is falling, the way she's standing there crying, she could have run to Florida and back by now.
Okay. Key point I want to point out: if they would have shown like the wheels falling off on the
Thank you for
thing,
not making
That
me
would have
run
been a
the
thing.
heels.
Yeah.
and
I almost
maybe
killed my
her like
only
trying to
son.
pick it up and get it out
I
and
don't know
looking up
why
and
mothers are so stupid in these
But
movies.
just
but
it
quite
sitting
frankly,
there-
This is why I think sometimes you need a license to be a parent.
Like pets.
I suppose so.
Jesus.
Needle before Zod.
Number 7.
If Caleb were here.
The
We're not
special
doing it.
effects of Superman 4.
Oh.
In the first 2 films, you could never see those wires that were holding him up. Superman 4? Not so much. Look at all these wire shots. They don't even try to cover them. Or how about the effects in the scene I just showed you?
Oh, yeah, they're
Yeah,
awful.
they're awful.
Lois is falling pretty fast there, isn't she? She's falling to the ground like a feather. And now
Yeah.
how about this? You can actually see the black curtains that are supposed to be outer space.
Yep.
It's like an Ed Wood movie! How about this scene when he's carrying the Statue of Liberty? Wow, instant movie magic. And how about this one stupid blue screen shot that they keep using over and over and over again?
Yeah.
You'd think as time went by, the effects would get better for these movies. But in Superman's case, it isn't the lead we can't see through, rather those thick, bulging wires that constantly keep getting in the way.
Yeah.
This looks like a job for Photoshop. Number 6.
Damn.
Those stupid glasses.
Yeah.
From which movie? All of them. How come nobody can ever see past them? Is it really that great a disguise? Look, there's even a scene where Lois takes off Clark's glasses, leaving him totally exposed. Somebody freaking notice him!
Yep.
I mean, how is everybody constantly fooled? This idea is so flawed that just about everybody in the world has made fun of it. The Tick, Mystery Men, and many more. It's a suspension of disbelief that, quite frankly, everybody disbelieved. But it could be worse. He could disguise himself as a British natty when secretly inside he's just a hairy, loud, obnoxious comedian. But that wouldn't be nearly as plausible, would it? Clark Kent,
This was made
if you can't see
before
past his
Robin Williams.
glasses, then quite frankly, you need glasses. And that's no shame.
Actually, there's a theory that I've heard that I'll get into later for that.
Okay.
The birth of Nuclear Man from
How is this
Superman 4.
number 5?
Now, the first thing I thought when I heard Nuclear Man was that weird Captain Planet spin-off, Captain Pollution.
Captain Pollution?
And to be fair, I wasn't really that far off. Nuclear Man was created from Superman throwing all the nuclear missiles of the world into the sun. Don't ask, it's a long story. As Lex Luthor gets a snippet of Superman's hair and uses its genetic material to make a clone. Don't ask, it's an even longer story. When the missiles are tossed with the hair inside, he gives birth to Nuclear Man. Alright, I'm actually willing to buy some of this nonsensical bullshit up to a certain point. And that point is, who is born with skin-tight spandex and a cape? What chapter of DNA genetic structure says that's possible? I mean, did he put a strand of Superman's
jealous.
costume in there as well? How does that work? Well, in any case, Nuclear Man's birthday suit is quite literally a suit, leaving us with all sorts of questions of implausibility. So, since you're born with an already fitted gay pride parade costume on, what are you gonna do?
First, I have fun.
Dressed like that, I'm sure you'll find it.
Okay.
Number 4.
Jesus.
The opening of Superman.
Oh,
Talk about
so
a movie that was already doomed from the start. First of all, look at these credits. All the Superman films began with the credits flying in space, with that kick-ass John Williams music.
Yeah.
But this one, it looks like they were added in at the last minute.
Yeah,
It's like that stupid
just about.
Star Wars text option that comes with most movie editing software. And after that, it's pretty much just a half-assed Laurel and Hardy routine. As a guy trips looking at a woman, a lady on rollerblades crashes into a hot dog cart. The hot dog cart knocks over some phone booths, a toy penguin is set on fire, which scares a little doggy that knocks a woman over carrying groceries.
Yeah. Mousetrap.
Yep.
You get the
Rube
idea.
Goldberg.
It's about as obnoxiously overblown as a comedy routine can get, looking absolutely nothing like a Superman movie. In fact, the title just passes by. You wouldn't even notice it. But how can you when a man confuses his walking dog for a road painter? Yeah, because all blind people are friggin' idiots, right? A car speeds out of control, hits a fire hydrant, starts filling up with water. You figure that one out. As Superman comes in to rescue the guy from drowning in his own vehicle on dry land. This is like the dominoes of human misery. Seriously,
What is
all
going
that's
on?
missing to top off this cliche comedic slosh is a fucking mind. Oh, you gotta be kidding me! This honestly does not seem real. I don't think there's enough wah-wah music to get us through this opening.
Oh, Lord.
Ray, you blew up the wah-wah machine! One gigantic comedic moment after another. The only thing missing, the humor.
Say thank you.
Number 3.
All right.
The mind-scrambling kiss from Superman 2. This happens after Lois finds out Superman's secret identity. They go all the way through the movie, and I mean all the way, until they get to the very end, as Superman feels Lois's life would be a lot easier if she never knew who he really was. So he gives her a kiss that somehow deletes all memory about him being Superman.
What's happening in the world?
How the fuck does that work? Is there a mind-altering breath mint he slips her, or does his tongue just work his way into her brain and take out the parts he doesn't like? For that matter, why doesn't he use this power more often? I mean, it'd be weird, but he could technically use that kiss to give all the supervillains amnesia. He'd fly up to Lex Luthor and he'd be like,
Superman, allow me to explain my evil plot. Who the hell am I?
There you go.
It'd be gross, but imagine how many lives you could save.
True.
This was obviously used to get people back to the status quo. Lois doesn't know who Superman is, so it keeps the romantic mystery alive. But really, the only mystery left in all of this is, how the hell did that kiss work?
Not one of your great thinkers.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
Number 2.
Okay.
Richard Pryor in Superman 3.
Uh,
Now, we've all seen Richard Pryor on stand-up and even in other movies. So we know this guy was not only funny, he was a comic legend.
yeah.
But
yeah.
I think somebody forgot to tell him that when he did Superman 3. Because, good God, this is one of the unfunniest performances ever. And it wouldn't be so bad if he didn't have too much screen time, but to be honest, I think he actually has more time on screen than Superman does. Just watch some of his hilarious antics.
It was great. He was just flying around. Cape was blowing in the wind. And he
You
landed
hear that
right
loud?
in the
You
big
hear that
plantation.
loud chirping noise?
Yep.
From distance?
Right? And he checked everything out, right, with his X-ray vision
I
before he
believe
did
those are
that.
crickets.
Dried up everything.
Yep.
Just like that. I'm talking about dried it up like the machines that they have in the men's rooms. You know what I'm talking about? The hot air comes out.
Wow,
you
this
put
is
your hands on it,
painful.
and you
Man,
dry 'em
yeah,
up.
this is
Sometimes
bad.
they don't work, right? It's the Ross. It was the big.
Wait, nothing was funny!
I never seen nothing like it.
Get off the
Big
stage!
deal was all about
Just get the
Superman's
the hook
bad.
and just.
No, you're bad. I mean, you're really bad. I seriously don't know who's to blame. The director, the actor, the writer, I don't know. But nothing about him works. It's like one of those gamma rays came out and sucked out all the funny from him. I mean, what happened?
Don't call me a bum. I'm not a bum.
From comedic god to comedic clod, this is one performance from a comedy legend that I'm sure he wants to forget.
Thank the Lord for Superman.
Yeah, it's real bad.
And the number one dumbest Superman moment
I'm
is
amazed that that wasn't number one.
spinning the Earth backwards.
Thank you, okay.
Superman 1. It's
Wow.
ironic that the first
You
and
talked
best
about
of
this
the
the
movie
other
should
day.
I got
be
angry
flawed.
about this the
But
other
in this
day.
nonsensical, moronic conclusion to an otherwise flawless movie, it's pretty hard to overlook. It all starts as Lois Lane actually dies in an earthquake because Superman could only stop one missile but not the other. So we have a very sad and very dramatic moment, which is suddenly botched by probably the biggest cop-out in Superman history. Superman flies around the world several times, forcing the rotation of the Earth to go backwards.
That's not
thus
how
sending
it works.
everything back in time. That way he can stop the other missile, allowing Lois to live. Where the hell do I begin?
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Doug.
First, if you stop the Earth and spin it back in time, you wouldn't time travel. People would just fall off the friggin' thing.
And everyone will fly off the face of the earth.
Second, if Superman can
Actually,
fly
they would
so
all
fast
just
that
be
he could
jetting
spin the
forward
Earth
at the same
backwards,
speed that the
why
Earth was
the
going.
hell couldn't he just get both missiles then? Look, one would be there and one would be there. He passes them in like a nanosecond.
Even you, with your great speed, couldn't stop both of them.
No, he's just fast enough to fly around the Earth and change the rotation. Third, if he went back to save Lois, that must mean there's another Superman somewhere stopping the one other missile from before.
Yep.
So, really, shouldn't there be two Supermans flying around? I mean, where's the other one? And if he didn't get so angry because Lois didn't die, does that mean he would have no reason to spin the Earth back to begin with?
And then you end up with paradise.
Fourth,
Yeah.
why hasn't he done this before? I mean, wasn't there a day when he came in late to work and was like, ooh, 9:05, they'll dock my pay if I'm late again. 8:59, right on schedule. That's 4 problems with my number 1 pick, as people still today can't figure out the technicals of this scene. No logic, no reason, no way that this moment makes any sense whatsoever.
It doesn't.
And those are the top 11 stupidest Superman moments. But I have to admit, for all the bad times, the Superman movies really do manage to put me in a good mood. I seen Christopher Reeve right before he had that tragic accident and died.
And here
Or
we go.
Margaret Kidder right before she went mentally insane. Or the shots of New York with the World Trade Center.
Oh, stop it, Doug.
No.
I'm the nostalgia critic. Now I'm gonna go kill myself.
Don't.
Well, that got dark.
Yep.
Okay.
So,
all right.
So, the whole
Revolving the Earth.
okay, turning the Earth backwards. I feel like they didn't actually mean for that to be literal. I feel like they meant for him to just be flying so fast that he went back in time.
I think so too.
That said, could have done that better.
Yeah, they could have.
But now, as for the glasses thing, so I can't remember exactly where I saw this,
Okay.
but the idea was that it's like there's a bunch of bullshit going on. Superman's got to, like, Clark Kent is at work, you know, gotta turn into Superman, and everybody's like, "Hey, Clark, in here." And they're like, "Wait, what are you talking about?" It's like, dude, we all know. We've just been giving you your privacy. It's like we've been letting you have a life.
Right.
Yeah.
Just go.
Like
Get outta here.
like
Do you
Hannah
think?
Montana.
Oh.
Superman is Hannah Montana.
Oh.
And on that bombshell, I don't know that I could end it there.
No, we can't.
Ah.
Okay, I'm gonna have to veto that.
Yeah,
that
it's-
ending.
yeah,
there.
I'm not
Okay,
doing it.
no, it's okay. It's okay.
But anyway,
Superman is Hannah Montana.
Superman. Okay,
anyway,
That needs to be a T-shirt.
Superman is Hannah Montana. Why not? Why not? I mean,
but I mean, to be fair,
You know what that
makes-
means? Clark Kent is Miley Cyrus.
you get the best of both.
Anyway,
worlds.
but I mean that makes more sense for the glasses thing. It's like, okay, that's really obvious. You know, maybe people are just letting him have a life.
Maybe, I don't know.
I didn't really think that Brandon Routh was horrible as Superman, though.
That
I feel like-
movie was real bad, but I don't think it was Brandon.
I don't
Routh.
think
No,
it was.
it
All, I don't
wasn't.
think it was all in his fault.
It-
I think it was a lot of the writing and the direction.
Well,
I mean, and the thing was, Kevin Spacey got great writing.
He got great writing, and they also let him do his own thing because
Yeah.
Kevin Spacey is that kind of actor.
He's excellent. Yeah.
I mean, you give him a basis of a script and the emotional investment of his character, he's in.
Yeah.
He's in. I mean, honestly, some of the stuff that he did in Seven, one of his best roles in my opinion, he improvised a lot of that. He improvised some of the stuff with Brad Pitt and Morgan Freeman.
Oh, there you go.
And you know he made the lines. He thought of the lines on cue or on point that matched up with the dialogue that came after from Pitt and Morgan. And I was just like, well, that's interesting.
And I mean,
Brandon Routh, I think the movie suffers from making Superman bland because they suck all of the likability out of him by pretty much making him stone faced.
some of the editing was also
well,
he takes a bullet
to the
in the eye, still dodges when they throw the gun at him.
yeah, that's kind of silly. Mm-hmm. Honestly, they need to take a more, well, I hate saying this, a more human approach with Superman.
Well, see, that's the thing. You know, and we've talked about this before. You know, Clark Kent is the person, Superman is the costume. Whereas Batman is the person and Bruce Wayne is the costume.
right.
Yes.
You can get interesting stuff out of Clark Kent. I think. But
Well-
it's just I don't know.
Okay, my biggest problem that I had. Okay, all right. One thing they did to kind of dehumanize Superman in the new Man of Steel storyline, the Man of Steel chronology with Henry Cavill.
Yep.
Number one, okay, you have Kevin Costner as Jonathan Kent. You know, I thought that was perfect casting.
I was really excited about that.
Yes, I was as well. But
His death scene was just pointless.
no,
and
it was
stupid.
because here's the thing. Here's what makes Jonathan Kent's death much more poignant, not only in the original movies but in Smallville, is because it was something.
Smallville was so good.
I know
how they handled it.
because there was nothing he could have done. He has this ungodly power to do anything and everything, but he cannot stop. He cannot stop what
couldn't
happened
stop
to
it.
his dad.
Yeah.
Well, and also the guilt of it, because Jonathan Kent, the reason he got the heart condition in Smallville was because he made like a like the deal with the devil to gain powers to try and stop Clark when he was infected by the red kryptonite.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, okay.
And that's the thing.
So he never really.
Smallville was a pretty good show up
Yeah.
to a certain point.
Yeah.
They kind of
I'd
steered
say
it back
for
around.
7 seasons.
They steered it back around when they got to the Justice Society.
Okay.
Because they brought in Michael Shanks as Hawkman, which was
I
fantastic.
mean, it's Michael Shanks. I mean, come on,
It
right?
was so good. Daniel Jackson.
But
Yeah.
But to me, it's much more having Jonathan Kent being eaten by a tornado. Spoilers for those of you who haven't seen the new Man of Steel.
I actually still haven't. I
Okay,
don't care.
so
I don't care.
to me that looks epic, but in terms of the storytelling aspect,
He could
it
stop
was
it.
so bad.
it is, and it
without
shouldn't be,
everyone assuming that guy's an alien.
Well, it shouldn't be. Oh, don't. It's like, oh, don't act out because society doesn't want you to be that way. No, F society. I'm saving my dad.
Well, which contradicted the theme of the movie, which
It did.
I really enjoyed because the theme of the movie was self-determination, is individual freedom over this sort of planned Kryptonian society that Zod wanted to
Yes.
enact.
Yes, and I like that.
So I honestly really like Man of Steel because the overarching theme I really thought was great.
I don't know. Like, and see, here's the thing. From what you all have said about Batman versus Superman, which I still haven't seen and don't care. I don't care.
Yeah.
Honestly, I'd be happy just to watch like the Wonder Woman scenes that I've heard are really good, and then just screw the whole rest of the movie.
No.
It was
See
not well
Ben
executed.
Affleck as Batman.
Ben Affleck as Batman with
Jeremy
Irons. Yes. Okay.
As Alfred.
All right. So
Jeremy
I'll get like a
Irons-
10-minute little like clip show.
Jeremy Irons was the best part about that movie.
He
See, that's
probably
what I
was,
hear.
yeah.
Honestly, I mean, Wonder Woman was cool, but it's like they dumped her in there. I didn't
Yeah, it's
really.
just like-
I didn't
She's
really.
just like a
enjoy-
walk-through cameo, like, hello.
I just didn't really enjoy
That's
it because
it.
it's like.
They didn't really work her into the script properly.
No.
No, they didn't.
Almost, yeah.
No, they hand-fist a lot of stuff in there that they're trying. Okay, Marvel has a big head start on DC in terms of the cinematic universe. How many films in the Marvel Cinematic Universe? What?
A lot.
Like more than 10. More than 10.
I think maybe more than 20.
Okay, maybe more than 20.
I don't know. I
So,
don't have a really good count.
so anyway,
There's a bunch of them.
what they were trying to do with this one was that they were trying to pretty much squeeze at least 5 to 7 movies worth of chronology into one film with Flashpoint stuff, with the impending arrival of Darkseid,
Superman
with
Doomsday.
Superman Doomsday, with a lot of things.
Yeah.
They were trying to just hand fist so
Dark Knight-
much
Dark
in there.
Knight Returns.
Yeah, Dark Knight Returns.
Yeah.
You can't,
Everything with Wonder Woman.
yeah, everything with Wonder Woman. You can't do
Yeah.
that. You have to take your time because if you rush things, fans will get pissed off because they're missing out on so much good storytelling.
And
Especially with Jeff freaking Johns as one of the creative directors of this thing. Jeff Johns, man.
And here's
God.
another one for you. Can you imagine? All right, replace Jesse Eisenberg with Kevin Spacey.
I can
Right.
see that. Why not?
There you go.
Why not?
Get an actual good Lex Luthor in there.
Or-
Give him a chance to be Lex Luthor in,
Bryan Cranston.
or Bryan Cranston.
Here's the
I
thing.
would have loved Bryan Cranston as Lex Luthor. That'd be awesome.
Jesse Eisenberg, his performance was compelling, just not as Lex Luthor.
No.
Yeah.
I would have seen him as like a different villain, honestly, kind of like a psychotic Mark Zuckerberg.
Honestly-
that's kind of how he acted.
Honestly,
He was basically a psychotic Mark.
I could totally
Yeah,
see
works.
Jesse Eisenberg being like a young Riddler or something.
I could see that.
That'd be cool.
That
I
would
could
be
totally
cool.
see
I
that.
like that. Well, he's good at playing a trickster. I mean, honestly, the Now You See Me movies, he's one of the best actors in those.
Yep.
And I think maybe he could do good as a Riddler like that. And just
But
It
to
wouldn't
be
really
fair-
jive with the age they have Batman at, though.
Yeah,
because
yes.
See, he's now been he's stuck now.
Right, yeah.
Because he played Lex Luthor Jr. And so they could be like, well, we could try to throw him in as like Riddler or something, but then
no,
it's the same actor
No,
playing
yeah, you
two
couldn't
different.
do
You
it.
can't really do it,
you'll have to start fresh again,
which is unfortunate.
it is because
And to be fair, we've had a discussion on, because we were asked this on stream, and I don't know if we
what
talked
would
about
we
this with you,
do?
Micah.
Yeah, what would we do?
You know, if we had the chance to either keep going and steer the DC Cinematic Universe or start fresh, what
Oh,
would
wow.
we do? And
You opted to-
my thinking was, you go through, you do, you handle Batman, you handle Wonder Woman, you get a good Green Lantern movie out there,
Mm-hmm.
Cyborg. Aquaman, all, run down the greats. Don't touch Superman until the Justice League movie.
Until like the end of the first phase,
Right.
when the Justice League first forms.
Yes.
Yes.
Exactly.
So kind of treat it like the Injustice storyline, where it's like you go through all this mess, and then it's like the final fight. Oh, teleporter brings Superman from our
That's
dimension
right.
to fight
yes,
evil
that's
Superman.
right.
There you go.
Exactly.
For like the
You
climax.
See, that's why the Injustice game was so good. I like the story in the Injustice game.
Although, I mean, to be fair, it's like, here, I've got these drugs. They'll make us all real powerful. We can fight each other on equal footing. And that's Batman saying that.
Yeah.
But, I mean,
whole thing.
I don't know. It's if you can write Clark Kent as an interesting character.
I think Smallville did a good job with that.
Yeah, Smallville I thought was very good.
But they had 10 or 11 seasons, so they had a lot.
They had 10 full seasons.
Yeah.
And the first 3 or 4, it was just him
Basically high school, yeah.
Yeah, basically high school and him growing up.
Which wasn't bad.
No, not at all.
And him sort of developing the powers. It's like, okay, all right, I can respect this. And they made him interesting as, essentially a human character.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't know.
I would probably, at this point, reboot the DC cinematic universe if it were up to me.
Too.
I would as well, because they've already taken 2 missteps with this.
I mean, all right. Now, I don't even know that I would recast. From what you've said, Ben Affleck as Batman, pretty good.
I had my doubts. He was pretty good. I mean,
keep Jeremy Irons because
fantastic.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
And then
Gal Gadot, from what I saw,
Gal Gadot was really good.
I think she fits really well.
I heard a lot of discussion about it's she doesn't really fit, but
well, they didn't really give her any lines.
No, they didn't.
Wait,
but
honestly,
as far as the look and the action, I was
do
fine.
the Wonder Woman movie before you get into team ups and stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
But it's
100%.
they needed all the standalone movies before this.
Yes.
And then not run with so many storylines. And here we are again complaining about Batman versus Superman.
Well, it was going to come back to that anyway because we had a thing about Superman. But anyway, let's
move
we've
on.
said all that there is to say.
Yeah.
And then some.
So, guys, of all of this, out of everything that's happened with the DC Cinematic Universe so far, we would reboot it. I mean, just because of the missteps that have been taken. I would put someone else in command. I mean, because Zack Snyder has a spotty history. And whenever he has, I was going to say, you want to see what it's like when he has full control over something? Watch Sucker Punch. That is an example of him when he has full creative control. And it was a just jumbled mess.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
So I don't hate Zack Snyder. Zack Snyder's put out some pretty good visuals, but in terms of a coherent story,
not unlike George Lucas, some people need to be reined in.
Exactly. Well,
I'm kind of worried that Zack Snyder is going to turn into the next Michael Bay in some way.
Oh yeah, Michael Bay is another one that sometimes needs to be reined in just a little bit.
My thing is, Zack Snyder has lost a lot of clout at Warner Brothers because of the lack of success critically with the Batman versus Superman that he promised was going to get, and now Jeff Johns is now the new creative director of the entire DC Cinematic Universe, which I'm very happy about. Yeah. And then after that, Ben Affleck is made a full executive producer of all DC properties going forward.
All right.
So, and he's also going to direct his own Batman movie with Jeff Johns and him writing the script.
Cool.
So, I'm excited for that.
I'd be willing to give that a shot, but honestly, I don't feel like I've missed anything.
Well,
like skipping Man of Steel and Batman versus Superman.
Honestly,
Fate of Two Worlds.
Man of Steel, I think, is worth seeing because I really liked Russell Crowe as Jor-El.
I did too.
I thought that was really cool. I was actually really excited for Man of Steel when I heard everything leading into it. And the overall theme, I really enjoyed Man of Steel. I appreciated what they tried to do, but they're just the Jonathan Kent thing was just stupid.
So stupid.
Well, anyway, all right.
They handled one father good, and the other just.
Let's get out of here.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you all so much for tuning in
to whatever the hell this was.
This was Nostalgia Critics' top 11 dumbest Superman moments, which were all merited, I feel.
Yeah.
And, well, we'll have to see what we get into next with Doug Walker, but honestly, he just keeps putting out some damn good stuff all the time. But anyway, check out Doug Walker's channel down below. I'll put a link to the original video in the description. Also, do not forget to check out all of our various other links down in the description below. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Signing off for the Renegades, this is Nate.
I'm Ben.
And
Micah.
Oh, sorry.
I'm still here.
Sorry.
It's okay.
Yeah, it's fine.
So let me try that again. So, signing off for the Renegades, this is Nate.
I'm Ben.
Micah.
And we will see you all later. Peace out.
Oh, you're fine. You could have left it in like that. I don't care.